Guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am making this video somebody asked me to make. It's going to be about specifically those two food processors. I'm going to make dough in there, but I have some other products with Black & Decker too, and I actually really like Black & Decker products, so I thought why not to share other products with you guys too. So I'm just gonna be naming them, but basically I'm gonna be making a dough in those two food processors in the back. So first of all, I have this mini sort of like blender kind of thing. This is specifically for spices, so I have opened it but I have not used it yet. So it's still like the cord is like that. It have a long cord. I really like all the Black & Decker products have long cords, so I'm gonna be next making a video on this one. I'm gonna be doing some maybe coffee beans in here and some spices, so yeah, stay tuned for that. I already have a video on my channel about this product. This is a Black & Decker blender, so I make smoothie in here, but you can use it for tons of other things, and it do have all the measurements over here. So if you're interested, go check that out. Other than that, I have these two food processors over here. So this is my older one. As you can see from the container, it's been used a lot. That's a pretty strong, sturdy food processor. I use it for everyday things. I like it so much, that's why I bought the other one, a little bit in the smaller size. Over there, I make dough in here. I cut, slice everything here, so it's just like for everything, chopping, cutting, salsa, puree, everything. I use this specific blender, food processor. I'll show you guys a little bit the parts. And I have this one, and I already make a video on this one. And in my video, I actually show how I slice and chop in here, everything. Just want to clear one thing up. All the accessories I have in here, they're actually for both of these food processors. So I got a little mixed up in with some blades, and I apologize for that. So I got a little mixed up because I keep all the accessories here in one bag. And yeah, I got kind of a little bit mixed up with the blades, so today I'm gonna clear that up as well, what comes with what. And I'm gonna be making pizza dough in here and in here in both of the food processors. Just a tip, don't put all, because today I'm gonna separate all the accessories for this food processor and this food processor and put them in the separate bags, because then they kind of fit in both food processor, because they're both Black & Decker kind of sometime, and that can easily make you really confused with what goes in which processor. So that's why it's just a recommendation. If you have two processor like me, just put all the accessories separately. So I will show you guys a little bit about these food processor and their accessories, and I'll show you how I make dough in here. So here is my accessory bags. First, I'm gonna open this and show you guys actually what's in here, and I'm gonna put them both separately in different bags. So be careful with these kind of blades, they're really sharp. So these are the main, like the chopping blades. They're a little bit different. This one is more like kind of like this, and this one is like kind of like straight one. So but they do both exactly the same thing. And this is the dough blade. And I think this is the top lid, which I never used, but I think this is like kind of cover your things up on the top. These are the two blades comes with it. They're both do exactly the same thing, but just the sizes are different because the one food processor is a little bit bigger than the other one. So both have slicing sides and also the shredding one. So they're exactly the same. So just want to tell you guys something about this food processor. This is actually really handy for me because it kind of every day stays on my countertop, and I use this a lot for so many things, especially for veggies, fruits, fruit salads, for everything. And the reason I use this a lot is because it's just the size is smaller, so it's easy for me to pick it up and use it a lot. So I personally use this a lot for ginger garlic paste or anything. So yeah, I'm gonna be showing you guys how I make dough in here, and I'm gonna be putting all the parts together and showing you guys that as well. And with the big food processor, I have this small one. So there's that big food processor, and I have a small one, a small kind of chopper came with it. So yeah, it's this one, and this is just a small chopper, but I personally don't like it that much. I don't even like use it that much. It just doesn't do as good chopping as the big ones. I'm not really sure why. It can fit into the bottom. It can fit into the bottom like right here, but it does not do good chopping as the big one. So I'm not really sure, maybe it's just for me, but it doesn't do really good chopping for me, and it can fit right here. So for smaller quantities you can use this one, and for bigger quantities the other one, but this one doesn't work really good as the other one. So it's just my preference. Maybe for some people it works perfectly fine. So here's my food processor, and so we're not going to be using any of these discs because I already showed in my other video how to use those discs. One thing about these food processors, they won't start until you lock them in place. So you can see the lock. So that's a good thing about these food processors, that you know, it's kind of a safety feature there. About this food processor, I just want to show you there's a lock sign over here. So it's not gonna go and lock itself. So it's not gonna go and lock itself. So when we bought this new, we didn't know this part. So it's good to know it's not gonna go in up until you open the top part. So you open it like this, and then it's gonna click in the bottom, and then you're gonna click it on the top. So this is a little bit different than the other food processor. The other food processor only have the top lock. So yeah. And this one comes with the specific dough blade, but you can use dough blade or chopping blade. I think both works fine for dough making. So today I'm gonna be making dough in both of them. So I'm gonna make dough in both of these food processor, but before I do that, somebody asked me that, you know, are these machines strong enough to make the dough in there? As long as you follow the measurements which is on every machine, you know, every food processor, the liquid, you know, the measurement for liquid and for the dry ingredient, as long as you follow that, I personally recommend to putting a little bit even less than whatever they recommend, because that's how you end up with the really good results. But as long as you use it, you know, according to these things, you know, according to their levels, nothing will happen. These machine, I've been using it from a long time, and they're absolutely fine. So I'm not sure. This is a really good company. I personally recommend it. That's why I make these videos, because if it didn't work for me, if it wasn't helpful for me, for my everyday life, then I would never put it out there. But I personally like all the Black & Decker products, whatever I use. If it's a blender, if it's a food processor, if it's a chopper, I like all of these products, and I do recommend them. So I have my flour over here. I'm taking 2 cups of flour. Now I straight put all my ingredients in here. So just go ahead and do that. Now I'm making just a plain dough. It doesn't have to be a pizza dough. You can make any kind of bread dough or anything here. I'm adding my salt in here. If you want to make pizza dough, bread dough, or even I did make cake batters in here. So just go ahead, do that. I do add in my dough milk. If you guys want to use water, that's totally fine, but I'm gonna use half cup of milk over here. And always add less liquid, and you can always add more liquid if you need it. But if it's if you add a lot of liquid in here straight, then it's just really runny and liquidy kind of batter, which you don't want. So just do that, and I'm gonna be doing it on high speed. So that was not even a minute. So since I make a lot of dough, so I know, but it's still pretty kind of like hard kind of dough, so I will be adding more liquid in here. But I'm not gonna be adding more milk in here. I'm gonna be adding some more water. So just a normal water to just soften this dough to the consistency I like. And if you feel like your dough is kind of now soft, that's how I feel. So just add some more dry flour in here. So adding more dry flour will give you the consistency you like. So I feel like my dough is a little bit softer to touch, so I'm just adding 2 tablespoons of more extra dry flour in here, and I'm using all-purpose flour. And as you guys can see, it's kind of kneading the dough itself in the processor. And it's pretty normal when it's just kind of a thick dough for the machine to wiggle, but I don't smell anything or any burn motor or anything like that. It's absolutely fine. And now I'm gonna show you guys how my dough look like in here. So that's how it's look like, and it's exactly how I like. I don't like it too runny or too thick. So what I'm gonna be doing I'm gonna be putting it on the counter and kneading for a little bit, like for 5 minutes or something. But it's a pretty good dough. It doesn't need that much kneading. So first of all, I'm just gonna put some dry flour in here. Now before you touch the dough, try to put a little bit canola oil or any sort of oil or butter on your hand so the dough won't stick too much. So all I'm gonna do, just knead this dough a little bit. It doesn't need that much kneading. And it's a pretty nice and soft dough. And it's if you're making a pizza dough and let it rise, it will double in size. So this is not just like this is gonna be the size. It will double in size. And just look at this dough, so nice, smooth. And this could easily make like 4 cups, I think, because I put or maybe 3 cups, but I personally like to go a little bit less with the ratio because I don't want to burn the motor of my food processor. So it's always good to be on the safe side. So there you go. So here's my dough. If you want to just make a bread dough, straight pizza dough, or any sort of dough, it's a really smooth, less work dough, like in less time. If you do it by hand, it will definitely take good 15 minutes for making the dough, and then for adding all the ingredients, checking in, and then kneading the dough. This took me like about 10 minutes, let's just say, and I can just go ahead and make more dough in the same machine, like 2-3 more doughs like this, and I can keep it in the freezer because this one I'm gonna keep it in the freezer. So yeah, that was that. So my daughter, she was playing with the dough. So, and it's easy to clean the machine right away, and it's easy to come off. So just want to show you guys this. And this is the same food processor I use for chopping, for cutting, and for shredding the cheese and everything. So it's right here. This is the food processor I use, and I got a comment that they're afraid that the machine or the motor will burn or something. So yeah, that's it. And this is the dough I made, and it's a really soft, smooth dough. So now I'm going to be using my other food processor. The container size is a bit bigger than the other one. Always follow the maximum food level, the dry level and the liquid. That's really important if you want to keep your machine for longer time. As I mentioned before, if you go above what they recommend, you're always going to end up burning your machine, if it's food processor or if it's anything. So the same process, just add all your dry ingredients first. I have about 3 cups of flour in here. I'm adding salt. And I'm adding 1/2 cup of milk. And I'm going to be doing it on high speed. And you don't have to open like all the time your food processor. You can just always undo the top. Just get rid of this part and add your liquids straight through this part. And you can also peek through here to see how much liquid is your desire. But make sure to always put this back because you don't want big splashes on you. So as you guys can see, the dough is getting together. but it's really hard, so we need to add more water in here. And here you guys can see the dough is kind of now runny the same, just like I did with the other food processor. I can just show you guys a little bit, see? So in this situation, just go ahead and add some dry flour, more dry flour in here. And not too much, just always add a little bit. So I'm just adding like a quarter of a cup. And if you need more, then always add more. It's still a bit soft, so I'm gonna add some more flour. I think I add about half cup more flour. And here's my dough. It's exactly just like how I like it, and I'm just like the other dough, I'm gonna be kneading it. So I just put some more dry flour in here, and the same procedure, just get your dough on here. So just knead it a little bit. Same thing, this does not need any kneading. It doesn't have any lumps, but it's a little bit sticky, and I'm not gonna fast forward this one. So just to show you guys that it doesn't take any longer than, that's it. It's not sticky anymore. So as you guys can see, it's pretty easy, and you can easily make, I think, 2 large size pizzas from this much dough, because it was about around 3.5 cups of flour. So yep, there you have it. So I had these 2 food processors, and these are the dough I made in them. I just want to show both of the dough side by side. So if you let it sit, it's gonna be even much more better. This one is a little bit warm because I just make it. And yeah, there you guys have it. So this is my dough, that's how it looks like. I use both of the food processor, ending up with both exactly the same result. I did not use any dough blade in here. I just used the normal chopping blade. So just want to say, if I do recommend these food processor, yes, I do. I use them from a long time. Again, I'm saying if I didn't like them, I would never put this video out there. I do recommend them. They don't burn. The machine doesn't burn. Black & Decker is a really good company, and this video is not sponsored or anything. These are just my own product. I purchased with my own money, and I just like them, and I would love to share just this out there. Because I have a large family, and it's really convenient and easy to make just dough in here and chop and slice in these food processor. They make my life easy, so why not to just share it out there. So again, any comments, just feel free to comment below, and I would love to answer your questions. Thanks, bye. So I just mixed both of the doughs together because they were exactly the same. After 10 minutes, that's how my dough looked like. Just want to share with you guys this. Pretty nice and pretty soft, just like a sponge. So really nice dough.